let me say, can I say one thing?
please.
To me, the great Stanley Kubrick
Yeah.
was an actor's enemy.
Well, he did 100 takes.
He was an
personally.
actor's enemy. And I can point to movies that he's done, the worst performances I've ever seen in movies.
Hello, cinema enthusiasts. For half a century, he was Hollywood's most disciplined and most respected face, Robert Duvall. His acting isn't like a hurricane. It's like the weight of a mountain. He doesn't act. He simply exists. But at 94, Duvall finally broke that silence. And what he said shattered all the myths of Hollywood's golden age. The 94-year-old Duvall has named the top 5 actors he hated most and never forgave. This hate wasn't a personal feud. It was a principle. It was the fury he felt toward those who betrayed the soul of the craft, choosing artifice and ego over art. They completely disregarded the discipline and authenticity he held sacred. The names on this list violated his rulebook, earning the label of fraud or tyrant in Duvall's eyes. We are starting now. Number 1. Marlon Brando, The Idol's Betrayal. At the top of our list is the man Duvall both admired and hated most, Marlon Brando. Duvall, as a young actor, worshipped Brando. He learned method acting by imitating him. But that illusion shattered when Brando arrived on set. The genius Duvall met was also a professional saboteur. Duvall ruthlessly defined Brando. He was the soul of the film, but he was also the enemy of every actor inside it. Duvall first tasted this hatred on the chaotic set of The Chase, 1966. Duvall was preparing for a crucial monologue. While Duvall was focusing, Brando intentionally made small, barely audible noises off camera, sabotaging the take. After the 5th repetition, Duvall confronted Brando. Brando only offered that famous, arrogant smile in reply. Maybe you should be stronger in your choices. This was the painful lesson that solidified Duvall's hate. Genius doesn't excuse cruelty. Brando was destroying a colleague's work just to prove his own power. Reason for hate. Brando's egoism and laziness betrayed the professional discipline and craft Duvall held sacred. Number 2. Robert Redford, The Fraud of the Golden Image. Next is the one who represented what Duvall despised most, glamorous hypocrisy, Robert Redford. They worked together on The Natural, 1984. Duvall saw that Redford's public image as the honest artist was a fraud behind the camera. Redford's arrogance violated Duvall's code of respect for his colleagues. What drove Duvall mad was Redford's selfish on-set behavior. Redford would keep the entire crew waiting for hours while he took business calls, not doing character work. Duvall stated, "That's not artistry, that's arrogance." Wasting everybody's paid time for his business deals was disgusting. Worse, Duvall claimed Redford pressured the director to cut Duvall's role, fearing a strong co-star would threaten his carefully constructed image as the hero. When Duvall finally confronted Redford, the star's reply was burned into Duvall's memory. "You're a character actor, Bob. I'm a movie star. We're not playing by the same rules." Reason for hate. This phrase clarified the class difference and hypocrisy in Hollywood for Duvall. Preaching artistic purity at Sundance while demanding cuts and showing tyranny on set was the kind of professional fraud Duvall would never forgive. Number 3. Dustin Hoffman, The Thief of Labor. At number 3 is the actor with whom Duvall experienced one of the most personal betrayals, Dustin Hoffman. Duvall and Hoffman were close friends, roommates, struggling actors in New York in the 60s. But Hoffman's ambition turned their friendship into cunning theft. Duvall claimed he would spend weeks developing unique inflections and voice tones for auditions. Hoffman, listening in their shared apartment, would then go in and use Duvall's exact approach, sometimes word for word, to steal the role. Duvall called this a polite word for theft. This theft continued even as they rose to fame. For Midnight Cowboy, Hoffman received hours of coaching from Duvall on the Ratso Rizzo voice. Later, in interviews, Hoffman claimed he developed the voice by observing homeless people, completely erasing Duvall's contribution. The ultimate betrayal came during casting for The French Connection. Duvall alleges Hoffman lied to director William Friedkin, saying Duvall was difficult and uncooperative to sabotage his chances at the career-defining lead role. Reason for hate. Hoffman used friendship and collaboration as a sly tool for personal gain. This was not just artistic theft. It was a devastating betrayal of loyalty that Duvall believed cost him a major role. Number 4. Robert De Niro, The Circus of Transformation. Fourth is the object of Duvall's philosophical hatred for excessive method acting, Robert De Niro. Although they both occupied the Godfather universe, Duvall viewed the extreme transformations De Niro was famous for, weight changes, radical physical alteration, as mere showmanship. Duvall once offered a sarcastic critique of De Niro. He's very good at playing Italians. Really very good. The subtext was clear. De Niro used costumes, accents, and physical extremes to turn acting into a transformation circus. For Duvall, the real work was in the silence. As he once stated, the work isn't in the weight gain. The work is in the silence. You can wear all the wigs you want, but if you're not present, it's just noise. Duvall saw this extreme method worship as a form of vanity, believing it would eventually turn actors into parodies of their own myth. They maintained a cold civility at awards shows, but Duvall despised the philosophy. Reason for hate. De Niro prioritized external spectacle and physical effort over the internal discipline and minimalism Duvall championed. This was a direct, philosophical offense to the craft. Number 5. Stanley Kubrick, The Executioner of Actors. The final name on our blacklist reveals the object of Duvall's hatred for cruelty, director Stanley Kubrick. Duvall famously declared in 2010, "To me, the great Stanley Kubrick was an actor's enemy." Kubrick's obsession with demanding dozens, sometimes hundreds of takes, like the 127 takes of Shelley Duvall swinging a baseball bat in The Shining, was not perfectionism to Duvall. It was torture. Duvall criticized Kubrick's method. How can he tell the difference between the first take and the 70th? He believed Kubrick was not directing actors. He was systematically consuming them. Duvall saw evidence of this heartless genius in the documentaries detailing the production of The Shining. For Duvall, genius did not grant the right to destroy an actor's soul or confidence. This systematic exhaustion was the antithesis of the trust and discipline Duvall valued. Reason for hate. Kubrick betrayed the humanity of the craft. Duvall believed a director should inspire, not destroy the actor's instinct through relentless, repetitive cruelty. Robert Duvall's hatred for these 5 legends is not merely a settling of scores. It is the final act of cleaning his legacy. These names paid the price for artifice, arrogance, and cruelty in Duvall's world. They tried to stand in the way of truth and failed. By breaking his silence, Duvall proved that reality is more important than a movie star's carefully constructed image. So what do you think? Was Duvall justified in his hard line against Robert Redford's arrogance? Or was Kubrick's method necessary for his art? Share your thoughts in the comments. Don't forget to like and subscribe, because more of Hollywood's dark secrets await us.